Uncle Wayne, what's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Yes, indeed.
My nizzle.
Yes, indeed. We here.
Here.
Listen, first and foremost, this is a surreal moment because growing up, right? Me, Booby Lou, Brandon, like we always knew that our uncles were a big deal, right? Because of the response that we would get, and people would talk about you all the time. We would hear the songs come on the radio. My mother was telling me how every time, if your heart wasn't in it, every time that video comes on, and you and Uncle David have a little tussle, I would cry and say, "Don't fight, right?
Yeah.
So growing up, kind of when you guys were really, really rolling, we knew that you were a big deal, but we didn't know the extent of it, right? We didn't know the extent of it. So it's so incredible that all of these years later, now that we're grown, and we look back and we're like, man, like you all like were or are classic, and you all are most certainly a staple in music, period, right? And what you guys were able to accomplish was absolutely amazing. So what I want to do is I want to back up a little bit, right? Native born, 914, Greenberg, stand up, right?
Yeah.
And you at what point did you realize that music was something that was a gift for you?
Well, I could tell you the very first story that I tell in interviews. The very first thing that happened to me was I'm going to date myself now. I was listening to, my father had a transistor radio on top of the refrigerator. When we were kids, we called it the icebox.
Okay.
Let me stop dating myself. But this is all the music that we had at the time, because he wasn't too big into all technology and everything, and we didn't have the whole stereo thing, but we just had a transistor radio. And I found myself dissecting the parts. Most people just listen to the record and they know they either like it or they don't. But somehow my brain started separating each instrument. This is the bass part. This is the guitar. This is the piano part. Then I would hear the orchestra playing stuff through there. I would notice that something's going on other than the bass and and I didn't realize I was on my way to becoming a record producer, an arranger. That's how it starts off, when you can start separating parts and separating notes. I knew that I was hearing more than one note, which we call the melody now, but I didn't know I was hearing other notes harmonizing with those notes, alto, tenor, baritone, with the soprano. But I was hearing all this stuff when I was a little kid. I just didn't know what it was. But I was separating all of the parts, and so I knew that was my calling. But I didn't know that I was going to be where I was going to be later. But I felt it, the spirit, everything just hit me, and that's all I wanted to do. And then one day my mother took me to a friend of hers' church, and I saw this lady playing the piano, and all those notes that was coming out of that box, I didn't even know. This was the first time I had really been up and close with on a piano.
Yeah.
And I was just mesmerized. I stood there watching it, hitting the ivories, and all those notes, musical notes that was coming. I was like, that's what I want to do. And I told my mother from that point, I want to play that thing that lady was playing in the church. And the rest was history.
Wow.
Hello, my fellow HMTV viewers. I'm here to inform you that Wayne Lewis, founding member of Atlantic Starr, passed away on Thursday, June 5, 2025, at the age of 68. His death was officially confirmed by the band via their Facebook page. The group requested privacy for the family, and no cause of death has been disclosed. Born April 13, 1957, in White Plains, New York, and he grew up with brothers David and Jonathan, who would join him in founding the band. Atlantic Starr was co-founded in 1976-78 alongside brothers David and Jonathan, Porter Carroll Jr., Clifford Archer, and Joseph Phillips, and Wayne was the lead singer, writer, and keyboardist. He had iconic hits like Secret Lovers, Always, Circles, Masterpiece, and many more. Wayne was being referred by his fans as the voice of the generation. The group last released Metamorphosis in 2017 and continued performing into 2025. Social media and fan reactions poured in. "His band gave my generation so much listening pleasure," said one fan. And another called him a great songwriter, and the voice of a generation echoed in comments. His enduring influence is felt by fans old and new, celebrating his mellifluous voice and songwriting talents. Wayne Lewis's passing has deeply affected the R&B and soul music community. As a founding force of Atlantic Starr, his artistic contributions, particularly through timeless hits like Always and Secret Lovers, left an indelible mark. He's remembered not only as a gifted musician, but also a brother, songwriter, and icon of an era. His legacy lives on through his music and the memories shared by those who loved him.